All right, I'll give you a minute. If you've been in class, again, grab your handout that you potentially picked up on numeros, numbers, and Sarah and a star. And if you have not been to class, then just go to your current lesson and you will see that you can click on those documents now and you should save them to your computer, open them up so that we can look at them together. We are going to start with Sarah and a star. So hopefully, like I said, this is not a totally brand new topic for you. We have looked at these verbs this year, but we haven't really compared them to each other. So let's go ahead and start. And I guess here, I'll go ahead and screen share the document that I want you looking at. And pop it up here so you can see it. So, Sarah and a star. The issue is that both of these verbs mean the same thing. And in Spanish, they have different usages, so we have to figure out when to use them in Spanish versus in English because they both mean the same thing. So let's start out real quick, and somebody raise your hand and tell me, what do they both mean? Go ahead, Uni. You're fine. Go ahead. What was it? Go ahead. Say it again. To be. All right, so they both mean to be. All right, look, Sayer means to be, and a star also means to be. So the issue is you have to decide which one to use. So you're going to have to do it based on the meaning. All right, when we go through these, think about these words. We use them all the time. I am, you are, he or she is, we are, or they are. So is and are, and we use those words all the time. So you do have to look at the meaning now, and then you have to make a decision on which verb to use. So let's review what they mean. All right, specifically. So you're going to think of the P word here when you think about Sarah. All right. So what is the P word is permanent. What does that mean? All right. So here's what it means. It does not mean it has to be 100,000,000% permanent and it never, ever, ever changes. Okay. What it does mean is on a day-to-day basis, things don't change. So look at my example here, 1 through 5, actually. 6, I should have a little star by there if you want to add a little star in. So these are things that generally don't change. All right. So let's go through the list. The origin of someone. All right. Where you are from. I am from Indianapolis. I was born here. That can't change. All right. Think about where you were from. All right. And again, whether you're saying your nationality or where you are from can't change. You can go other places, but you are always from where you're from. Wherever you're born, that's it. All right, so that doesn't change. Description and physical appearance. So es inteligente, es rubia. So your physical appearance or a description of your personality. Okay, now that can go for things too. All right, things don't have personalities, but things have a physical appearance. Like this table is brown. All right, so I would say es marron or es café. All right, your chair is orange. So that's a description of your chair, right? Es, la silla es anaranjada. So I'm using that verb es. All right, if you're tall, if you're short, if you're funny, if you're interesting, if you're smart, whatever describes you, that generally doesn't change. All right, if I have brown hair today and I'm kind of short, guess what? Tomorrow I'm still going to be kind of short and have brown hair. Now, could I dye my hair? Sure. But again, typically things that are permanent from day to day is what you want to think about. All right, next up says job. All right, yo soy una profesora. Tú eres un estudiante. Now, can I change my job? Can I decide I'm not going to be a teacher tomorrow? Don't show up? Sure. But generally, am I probably going to be a teacher today if I'm a teacher tomorrow? Or the other way around, if I'm a teacher tomorrow, if I'm a teacher today? Yes. You're going to be a student today. You're going to be a student tomorrow. Now, maybe in 10 years, you have a different job, all right? That's fine, but again, day to day doesn't really change. All right, last up, your relationships with people. If somebody is your friend, if somebody is your sister, if somebody is your dad, that's not gonna change, all right? Now, I know friendships change, but again, day to day, you're friends with somebody one day, you're friends with them the next day, all right? So again, all of those kind of permanent things. Now, there's one special case, number 6, And that's why I meant to put a star by it and I didn't. So if you're looking at your paper, maybe put a little star by it. Time and date. Now look, are time and date permanent? I mean, is it always going to be 9/22? No. All right. Is it always going to be the 28th of October? No. So that doesn't quite fit into the permanent. That's why it's kind of its own category. So I would think permanent and time and date. So even if you want to add that, look, I'll add it to the top here. Permanent, I probably should have put, let's add it right now. Oops. / date and time. Okay. So those are kind of in their own category. If you look up here, la fecha es el 28, right? I'm using that verb. If I look at my watch, examples on there, right? Son las 11. It's 11 o'clock. All right. Those are all reasons to use ser. Does that make sense? Any questions? All right, let's run through the forms real quick. We've already reviewed these this year, so I know you should be familiar with them. Let's just make sure we know how to say them. So I have you repeat them. So if you're in here, I get to actually hear you repeat it. If you're online, you're still just doing it for yourself. Ready? Soy, eres, es, somos, son. All right. Anybody have a question on Sarah? Do we feel like we get it? All right, we'll see in a minute. All right, let's talk about a star. So here's my little expression that I try to use. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. Okay? How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. Say it one more time. How you feel and where you are, always use the verb estar. If you can remember that, it tells you the two things that I need you to know. How you feel is number 2, your feeling. And where you are is number 1, your location. All right? So I said, ella está en Chile. She is in Chile. Is she from Chile? I don't know, right? But we're saying right now, that's where she is located. So that's why we're using a star. Ella está triste. She's very what? Sad. I'm not saying all the time. I'm just saying right now. She's sad because she misses her hamster. All right? I don't know. She's sad. Okay? Again, this one you can see is not permanent. Okay, this one is a little harder. That's why it doesn't say permanent and not permanent, because location, like if I say where North Central is located, or I say that you're located somewhere, is that not permanent? I mean, it just depends. North Central isn't going to get up and move, right? So that's why I think I say don't do permanent and not permanent. Do permanent and feeling and location. All right, so now let's look at our verbs here. And I'm going to have you repeat that. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. All right, so let's talk about these accents. You guys know how to do an accent on your computer? It doesn't work? Well, I'm going to show you a way. Let's see if it works. It usually works for most people. Let's try it this way. All right, I want to show you right now how to do it because I would like you to try to get these accents in. All right, if it doesn't work at some point, I'll either give you an A that you can just cut and paste it, or you can literally write A with an accent if you're really desperate on a quiz or something. All right, but let me show you what you can do. If you've not tried this before, let's try it now. So take your Chromebook. Do you know how to open it up so it's like a tablet? All right, do that. If you're in here, do it right now. Let's see if it works. If you're online, try it. Open it up so it's like a tablet. Now that keyboard, when that comes up, or pull up that keyboard, you should be able to hold down the A, and it should give you an option to put an accent on it. Is that working? Do you see it? Yeah? Okay. So try it for a minute. You fold the whole thing open. I didn't know you could do this. So, because I don't have a Chromebook. Huh? Okay, yeah, I know. That's why that one's a little, that's why I think this works most of the time. And if it ever doesn't, like I said, just put A with an accent and I'll know. All right, is that working for you guys? Do you see how to do it? Kira, did you get it? Yeah, yeah, no. You have the keyboard open. If you hold it down, it's not popping up. We'll get there. See it? Okay. All right, Nora, you got it? Whitney, got it? Okay, so try your best, like I said. As we do past tense, which we're gonna start in like next week, you're gonna need accents. So I thought I'd go ahead and show it to you now. Okay, so that's the deal on accents. All right, so look, I have 8 for you to try. So you have to figure out which one to use. So first you look at the meaning, then you put it in the right form, the yo form, the to form. So let's do the first one together. All right. So you can handwrite it if you have the paper. You can do it on the computer if you want, wherever you want to put it. I don't care. So nosotros, so we know it's the nosotros form. We are, because they both mean we are. So what's en nor central, en and c oi? What does that mean? We are en nor central. So is that something permanent or is that a feeling or location? That's a location. So which one am I going to use? Nosotros estamos. Great. So I'll go ahead and write that first one in for you. Then I want you to take a minute and see if you can do the others. And I'd go ahead and write location because these are your notes. So then you have it. Estamos location. All right. On Friday, I'm going to give you a little exit ticket with a few of these. And this will help you if you have these to use as a reference. So take a minute or two. See if you can't fill those in. And then we'll check them. I will be looking for some participation. Some of you have 0 points so far. And most of you have some. So if you know you're low on points, get ready to volunteer with one of these. Be ready. I'm going to call and make sure Kira, Whitney, and Natalia. We two in front are doing fine, so I'll use you as backup. I'm going to let those 3 out. I'll pick some people online. If you're not sure about one, maybe skip it or take a guess. Obviously, we'll go through them. You can correct it as you go. You want? You want a hint? Hint. You sure? Look right here. Number 6 at the top. You see it? Okay. That's okay. You haven't done that probably in a while, so you're not dumb. All right, looks like my friends in class are starting to finish up. So if you're online, try and get your best guesses down there. And I got a couple people in here that could use a point, so I'm gonna call on them first or let them volunteer first. And then I will get to my Zoom friends that need a point. So be ready to volunteer or get called on. Either way to get your point. Just trying to help you out here, really. All right, you ready to try them? Got most of them? Okay. Dos, anybody want it? All right, Mutar, go ahead. He says, yo estoy de Lima, Peru. What were you thinking for reason there? It is a location, but, dun, 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 look at this word. You remember what that one means? We didn't really talk about it yet, but it is, Whitney, did you say it? From. So, Whitney, did you put something different? Okay, this one's super tricky. That's why I had 1 and 2 next to each other. I want to look at them together. So I'm actually glad that you made that mistake so we could talk about it. So Whitney, you said from because, you said soy because why? It is her, my, origin is the word I use, but yeah, fine. Origin or where you're from. All right, look at these 2 words. Maybe, again, if you're on your computer, you could highlight them, or if you're on paper, just underline them or circle them. I would say these 2 words give people the most trouble. All right, so let's clear it up right now. Okay, we are at or in a place is where you're located. De is from. So now I am from a place. That is my origin. Can that ever change? No. All right, those two are really tricky. That's why I put them back to back. So if you didn't catch it, no big deal. Make sure you have it correctly on here, and then you'll get it next time. That makes sense now? Any questions on that? Okay, numero tres. Kira, you want it? What'd you get? Perfect. She says, ella es mi amiga. And why'd you put S there, Kira? Perfect. Relationship. Relationship. All right, she's my friend. If she's my friend today, hopefully she'll be my friend tomorrow. All righty, opening this up to my Zoom friends. Who could use a point on Zoom? Buddy want it? Otherwise, I'll call on you and then you'll know you could use a point. All right, I'm gonna go down my list, see who needs them. And just as either I'm calling on you because you have like 0 or maybe you have 1, but I'd like you to get another, give you a chance here. How about Morgan, you want it?
S?
It's not S because of the word oi today.
Oh, okay.
So what is it? If it's not S, what is it? And then Noah, maybe you can explain why.
I don't know.
Okay, so you see it. Okay, do you see right here it's in the to form?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically your choices are either going to be tú estás or tú eres. And I said it wasn't this one, so what's it going to be?
Estás.
Okay, so now Noah, can you explain why?
I mean, I got it wrong, but I can still try.
Okay, try.
It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like the day or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, what 2 things can estás be used for, Noah, if I'm looking up here?
Feelings and location.
Okay, so when I'm saying ¿cómo estás hoy or ¿cómo estás tú? What am I asking you?
What's the day?
Not the day. Good try. I'll give you your point. Somebody else want to take it? Passing it off to, I don't know, not here. Lamaya, you got it? What's ¿cómo estás mean, Lamaya? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, moving along to Bryson. What's ¿cómo estás, Bryson?
Is it how are you today?
Yeah. So how are you, meaning how are you feeling, right? So if I ask you ¿cómo estás hoy? How are you today? How are you feeling? And feeling leads me to a star, and the to form leads me to estás. So you gotta take your time on these. You gotta figure out what they mean, and then figure out which verb to use. All right, las películas. I think this one sometimes is hard for people. Maybe if you were listening to my description earlier, it won't be too bad. The movies are interesting, all right? So which R do we have? Do we have están or do we have son is the question. Let's see. I guess I'll open it. Let's see. Zion, you want that one? I'll take that as a no, so I'll open it up. Who wants that one? I think she got that one. The movies are interesting. Charles, what do you think?
I don't know which form it should be in, but should it be feeling and location?
Nope. So pick the other form.
So it's permanent?
Uh-huh. And if it's the movies, so they, what verb am I going to use?
A son.
Uh-huh. All right, let's talk about this one. I think this one's harder. Hopefully once I describe it, it won't be. So, las películas son interesantes. The movies are interesting. All right, interesting. That is not a feeling. That is not a location. Isn't that a description? Right? Remember I said we could say the movies are interesting. I said the chair is orange. Description. All right, so make sure you jot that one down. All right, people think of that usually referring to people, like I am tall, I am short. I am funny. But it can also apply to things, right? The towel is blue, es azul, or the table is brown, or that Kleenex box is funny, right? So again, you can use it with things as well as people. All right, numero seis. What are we thinking for seis? Now I'll just take any volunteer who hasn't gone yet today who would like a point. Oh, no, wait, just kidding. Dalia, I didn't get you. Dalia, you want to do it?
Yeah, what was the question?
Question is number 6.
It's
It's a
not
special case. What's las once y media? Do you recognize that bit? What if I tell you to go up to the top and look at number 6 up at the top?
hold on. Number 6. Oh, time and date.
Oh, yeah. So what word are we going to use with time and date?
Son.
Yep. All right. So son, time. Son las once y media. I know for some of you haven't done time for a while. Okay. So I'm reminding you now, when you do the time, it's either son las, whatever the time is, or if it's 1 o'clock, it's es la. All right. Numero siete. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Anybody want it? Anybody want to? I see a hand. Who is it? It's Victoria. Go ahead, Victoria. What are you thinking?
It's physical appearance, so it would be like ser.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So if it's eos, what's the form of ser?
Son.
You got it. So I'll just put description. You could put, you're right. It could be description or physical appearance. Physical appearance. Okay, good. Right, they are tall. Son altos. All right, last one. Yo blank contento porque es mi cumpleaños. So I am content or happy because it's my birthday. So what do you think? Somebody want to answer that one? All right, Whitney, go ahead. Uh-huh. Because it's how you are feeling. Estoy feeling. Right? Estoy contento. I'm happy because it's my birthday. I might be a happy person in general, but I'm saying right now I'm happy because it's my birthday. I am feeling happy. All right. So if you got them all the first time, great. If you didn't, do you understand? Do you see the difference a little bit more now? Yeah. All right. I'm going to let this rest on Friday. I'm going to give you a little exit ticket, and part of it will be on this. So use this to help you because these are perfect examples, and hopefully you wrote down not only the answer, but the reason. And then hopefully you can see that when you try it on your own. We good to move on? All right, we got one more review topic. What is it? What's the other paper you picked up? Yeah, los números. So find that. All right, some of you may be great on numbers. Some of you may be meh on numbers. So today's your day to catch up. I know that I taught big numbers after COVID last semester. So I know that probably my 8th graders, some of them did it and some of them probably didn't. So now's our chance to catch up. So find that document on numbers. I will screen share it again, but you're going to want it because we're going to practice some and you're going to write some down and you're going to say some to another person here in a couple minutes. Alrighty. That. So many little things. All right, everybody looking at los números? All right, so here's how I like to do numbers. Okay, there is a clear pattern. If you know the lower numbers and then you know the tens and then you know the hundreds, it's just like in English. You can mix them and match them. All right, so you got to learn 0 to 20. And my hope is that you know those, but we'll go through them again just to make sure you can pronounce them. Then it's like a little matching, right? Look at 21. You will see it's all smushed together, but you literally have 20 and 1, 20 and 2. So once you know 20 and you know 1, boom, you smush them together. Right? Same thing for 31, 41, 51, only it's actually spelled as 3 words. Doesn't make any difference. 21, 31. You don't hear a difference. It's just the way they're usually spelled. All right. So then we go all the way up to 100. And then the same thing. Then we got 200, 300, 400. And again, if you want to say 205, you just need the word for 200. And then you need the number 5. Right? And I can keep going. I can go into the thousands. Okay? It seems like a big number, but if you can say it in English and you use this paper, you can say it in Spanish. Right? If I want to say 5,022, I need to say 5, cinco, 1,000, mil, and 22, 22. So literally, you're just kind of picking them just like you do in English. So even though they're big numbers, don't let them intimidate you. If you can say it in English, you can now say it in Spanish. All right? So we're going to do a quick 0 to 20. I'm going to have you, I don't know, do you want to say them together? Do we know them? Or you want to say them, you want me to repeat them? All right, let's do 0 to 20 together. And then from there, I'll have you do some repeating to make sure you remember the bigger numbers. All right, so let's go through them together. If you're online, please say them as well, because again, you're going to say these for a partner here in just a few minutes. All right, starting with 0, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Look if you need to, otherwise just say them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Now I'm going to have you repeat from here. I'm going to go up by 10. So if you're looking on my sheet, go 20, 30, 40, 50. We'll do them now. All right. So repitan. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, stop there for a minute. Now you'll notice there's 2 words on cien. Cien is when you have even 100. Ciento is as soon as you say 101, 102, 120. All right, it just has that little TO on the end. Now, let me give you another little tip. When you say 101, in English, you say 101. In Spanish, you do not need to put that and in. So listen to the way I say it. If I want to say 101, I'd say ciento uno. All right, otherwise you're going to start putting E's in a lot of places where you just don't need them. All right, so try your best not to. It's not a big deal, but it'll just make it flow a little better. All right, now we're going to do hundreds. You will notice most of them are what you'd guess. 200, 300, 400, 500 is a little funny. That's why I highlighted it. 700 is not siete, but sete. And 900 is not nueve, but nove. So just keep that in mind when we go through them. All right, repitan. I'm going to start again with 100. 100. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. Now, mil is confusing because you think of a million, but it's not, it's just 1,000. So be careful. If you want to actually say million, you have the word millón. All right, I'm not super worried about millón, but we should be able to go up into the thousands here in a minute. All right, last thing I want to point out before we do some practice is it says with numbers in Spanish, if you've never heard this before, listen so it doesn't confuse you. You're actually going to use a decimal point instead of a comma when you go over 1,000. So look at some of my numbers down here. Okay, I've got 13,780, right? To us, you might think that's 13.78 or 240.635. That's not. So the point in your head, you have to flip that, is actually a comma. So it's really interesting, right? So why do we write it like that? I don't know. It's just what we're used to. It's how we're taught. Why do they write it like that? I don't know. It's just what they're used to. It's how they're taught. All right. So what's interesting is if you put money on it, look how interesting this looks. So for us, right, and 50 cents, for them, it looks like that. So it's just interesting. So if you ever are able to travel or just go someplace, maybe even like a Spanish-speaking grocery store, something like that, and you see a price where the commas and the decimals are flipped, now you'll know why. All right, so you just kind of got to get used to that. All right, let's look at my examples, and then I'm going to give you a couple to practice. So, again, all you have to do now is take each part and put it together. So if I want to say 132, I need the word 100, ciento, and I need the word 32, 32. All right, they get a little bigger. I want to say 1,994, 1,000, mil, 900, 900, 94, 94. All right, and I can keep going. Let's do the big one. Oh my gosh, how do I do that? Well, if you know how to say it in English, you should be able to get it in Spanish. 240,635. So 200, 240, 40, 1,000, 635. You get it? Think you get it? All right, I'm going to give you a couple to try. So find a piece of paper. You can just jot on this paper if you have it in front of you. Find a pencil. And I'm going to give you some numbers to jot down. Let's see if you can do it. All right. So again, if you're out there, find a piece of paper you can jot down on, or you can type it somewhere. I don't care. But I want you to see if you can understand the number that I am about to say. Got your paper? Ready? You got what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to do a couple examples with you. Then I'm going to have you make a number, and you're going to share it with somebody. Okay? If you're on Zoom, you'll share it in a breakout room. So everybody ready for my first number? All right, I'm starting easy. I got a 2-digit number. All right, my number is 47. I'll say it a couple times. And then I think I can put it on my board. 47. Say it one more time. 47. All right, now folks at home, I have this document camera that I think will enable you to see the board better than with my just my computer. So you let me know in a second. Hopefully you'll be able to read this. All right, we think we got that one? How many people think you got it? Yep, okay. Who wants it? Quick point going to. All right, you got it, then you got to rest today. What do you got? One more time. 47. Did you get it? I'll say it again now that you know what it is. 47. If you didn't see it, do you see it now? 47. All right, I'm going 3 digits. Ready? 3-digit. 283. I'll say it a couple times. 283. 283. All right, Reddick, what do you think it is?
283.
Perfecto. Okay, 283. For you guys at home, can you see my board? Can you read that? Yes, great. That's what I was hoping. All right, let's pause for a minute. Let's I'm gonna have you repeat them. Look at them with me, because again, I want you to know how to say them. Ready? Repitan. 47. 283. All right, here comes number 3. It's a 4-digit. 4-digit. Get ready. 9,650. I'll say it again. 9,650. Okay, and you can just jot down that. You don't have to spell it out. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. You can write it just like I'm writing it on the board. What did I say? That's where I wrote it down. 9,650. 9,650. Who wants it? All right, let's see. Nora. It sure is. Now watch how I write it. I'm going to write it in Spanish. What did I say? 9,650? Did we get that? Good. All right, I'll say it again. Make sure you repeat that. 9,650. Boom, done. All right, last one for me today is a 5-digit. Okay, then you're going to come up with your own here in a second. So my 5-digit. So what did I do? 75,020. 75,020. 70,020. Think you got it? You want to volunteer? Go ahead and raise your hand. 70,020. Who wants it? Anybody online? Somebody want it? You sure? I get somebody in front of me. All right, Winnie, go ahead. Perfect. 75,020. Sometimes that gets people. That's why I wanted to do it, because it's a little tricky there, right? So we got 70,520. You see how I got it? All right, here's what I want you to do. We're going to do just 2 numbers today, then we'll do a couple more on Friday. I want you to jot down 2 numbers for me, okay? 2 numbers. One, let's do a 3-digit and a 4-digit, okay? We're not going to go 5 today. Let's do a 3-digit number and a 4-digit number. I want you just to jot it down like I did, like just write the number, and then I'm going to have you say it for somebody, okay? So let's keep it simple. 2, what did I say? 3 digits and 4 digits. 2 numbers. If you are online with us, I'm going to put you in a breakout room so you can say it for somebody. If you're here, we'll probably just do a couple groups. If you need to write it out, you can. Like if you want to spell it out, but I'm not requiring you to do that because you hopefully can just use your paper like we just did and just say it.